And we are live, Dr. Art.
We made it. And
believe it or not. Yes. Happy Wednesday, one and all. We got a bunch of people in here already. Yeah, we're starting a little bit late tonight. I had like things at the dog club that needed. That's my thing, man. I'm into the dog club. It's awesome.
Dogs. Got the dogs.
I love my dogs. Mexican Spec, what's happening, man? 72Z28, Joker, Scoop, Mark Sauvé, Shannon 78 Monty, Mexican Spec. I think I greeted you already, my brother. Nathan McCree, Matthew Ward, Oscar Gonzalez. We got the regulars. We got a couple of names in here. Kerosene Cucumbers, Soylent Gray. Nice. Kylie. So, oh yeah, we got a bunch of them here. Well, 78, Elmo 21.
Yeah, a bunch of people. Some of them are on Monday nights too. So,
this is your audience.
Yeah,
these are your people.
My 3 people came on board.
Oh, you got a lot more than 3 people. Paul Capizzola, what's happening? Thunderstruck. Dean Stevenson. Dean has been around. So yes, was it yesterday? I don't know. I think it was yesterday. It's all one long day to me. It's one long year, really.
Yeah.
I went through. So we had lives. We've been doing lives since 2018. So, but they were all for the first 4 years, they were all marked private because after the live, we would just take it down, or not take it down, but you know.
So, that's why, because they've been popping up on my feed too, like crazy. All these 5-year-old lives, yeah.
Yes, yeah. So there's been a lot of confusion. I noticed in the comments, people are like, "Hey, I see your live." No, that was 5 years ago, or 4 years ago, or 3 years ago. So I went and I turned on about 400 of them, just because. Because. I don't have any of the earlier ones. I think the early ones were just deleted. So we've only got from late 2019 until so yeah. So that's, if you guys wondering why all of a sudden there's all these lives, it's because those are really old lives, and I figured, well, let's just throw them up. Yeah, Joker saw the surge of lives. Eating pretzels. Some of our early lives were really freaking crazy, man. It was like
I was watching one of them where you're like eating pepperonis and just with a look of disgust that you had to talk to people.
I probably shouldn't have put them up. You know what I mean? Some of them are really, really bad. But what the hell?
Yeah, I mean, it's 300 free videos. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
Well, you know what it is. I keep referencing like old, like I was talking about the 2020 New Year's Eve 2020. I was trying to do a 24-hour marathon, and I made it like 11 hours because I had the Rona and I completely lost my voice. So I kept referencing like some old lives, and I said, well, hell, let's just put them all up. So let's see.
There's a bunch of people that look new to me. Let's see.
Well, it's Todd Denny always. What's happening, brother man?
Louis GT, Oscar Gonzalez, Rocco Thunderstruck, Sweaty Fat Guy, Rape 1958, Makaiska, Mopar Man.
Is Zero in here?
What?
Is Zero in here?
I haven't seen him yet.
I don't know if you're here, Zero, but if you are, greetings, my brother. Greetings. And if you're not, I know you can hear us anyway because you're omnipotent.
Mm-hmm. Captain Planetary said Kathy Bananas did a great job on the thumbnail tonight. Did you see it?
That is actually a very old thumbnail. That was a picture that we used. I don't remember what we used it for.
It's something for Plan Z.
No, it was for. Was it a Facebook page? That predates the channel. I think we use that for the podcast. And I think
okay.
That on Facebook for the Facebook page for the podcast. But she was like rummaging around and finding old stuff, and that thing popped up. And said, yes, that's because it's got everything. It's got a volcano in it. It's got
Godzilla, and it's got a screaming baby and everything.
Yes. So
Apparently, Zero had a funeral tonight. So.
Okay. Oh, Zero was in. He said he wasn't going to be present too much tonight. Something about a death in the family. Oh, geez. Zero, I'm sorry, brother. All right. I just saw somebody ask about a technical question. The holes. Is there any way on the Slant 6 to reinforce the cylinder boards because there's not much holding them in place, sort of a DIY fix strengthening wise for high horsepower applications? The cylinder bores are no different than any other. All of the Chrysler bores of the day, the classic era, right? Were all intended to take a maximum 60 over bore. They're all approximately the same thicknesses. You can't really think of any inherent weakness in the Slant 6 cylinder bore, but if you be more specific, we can probably.
He wants nitro on your Slant 6.
Oh, the geometry of a Slant 6 is perfect for nitro. But don't tell me that because then I'll end up doing something stupid.
Yeah.
Tim Squire. What's happening, brother? Let's see. I'm scrolling back up.
Oh, okay.
Todd Denio is going to buy the 67 Marlin tomorrow. Very cool. We got to get some pictures of that.
Yeah, because those can be cool. And you don't
some people say the Charger is a copy of the Marlin. I don't know.
It was all like it was the fastback era of big two doors. So
it was a good era. But you know who got it really right? Who nailed it? What is the prettiest fastback car out of all of them?
Oh, a 69 Mustang.
Mustang's pony car, I don't really consider that.
Okay. All right.
The Torino.
Oh yeah,
One of the most beautiful, like mid-sized cars, in my opinion.
And they did the dash and all the big round pods and stuff like that, and the whole thing. Oh yeah.
They hit it. Ford stylists hit it out of the park there. And the 69 Mustang, in my opinion, the two most perfectly shaped cars, right? One of them isn't really a car, but the long nose Mustangs. Ford built like 11 of them for factory experimental, and it's just 67 Mustang fastbacks or 66 Mustang fastbacks. They were just stretched, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Oh, they just look so perfect. And the 69 Mustang, the fastback, just perfect car. Just from every angle, they just nailed it. Ford stylists to the day, they had it going. Their engineers were all they were retarded, is what they were. But the stylists,
yeah. I think they fired them in 70, and they brought in some Girl Scouts to do a 71 Mustang.
Yeah, that too.
No, it needs to be bigger.
Yeah.
Grams, yeah.
Let's see. I'm scrolling back down. Rope is saying, does this mean I can come out of the closet about loving Torinos? Go for it, man.
Oh, yeah.
My friend Dale Creasy had one, a funny car. It was way before I knew him, way before. But he had a Torino funny car called the Tyrant. Oh, what a beautiful freaking car. Gary Bolger drove that thing.
Go down. Go one right above that as soon as you're done with Larry.
Okay, what's on just for giggles, can you put a wet nitrous kit on a stock Slant 6 vehicle with the one barrel, just a 50 shot? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a guy, I don't remember his friggin' name. He used to be on the For Everybody's Only, the Slant 6 forum, the Slant 6 section of For Everybody's Only. Charlie S was the name he used. You probably, if you're interested, you can go find this, I'm sure. But that's what he did. He was playing around with nitrous on slant sixes, and one of them was it was a wet shot. It was a wet shot, but he did it on the one barrel carburetor. He fitted a couple of nozzles in underneath, and this thing ran some stupid number, like some ridiculous, like there's no way this thing could have gone that fast. But he's a straight shooter, and he it was a repeatable thing. Like he played around with a lot of nitrous and slant sixes, and yeah.
Funwood Carr says the Ford stylist that designed the 71 Mustang designed the Mustang Mach-E. Probably, or their grandchildren did. One of the two. It was, so they passed the name on to a generation. And
compared to the Mach-E, the 71 Mustang is an icon of this beautiful
design and beauty. Yeah.
Design. And those 71 through 73 Mustangs made the best looking funny cars too.
Oh, because they're so square in the back, they had that big back section. They could,
yeah, they just looked right. Look at the Trojan horse from like 73. Rocco, anyone remember the Mopar Action article, the rental neon and the nitrous kit? That was actually, but I left the magazine before that happened. And Ehrenberg and Gromer did that. Yes. How are you doing with the with your build?
With the Caminos, I just did. Well, the engine's out. Taking the engine apart was a 2-part series because I had a couple pistons and I had to get that were just stuck no matter what, and too much goop on top. So I had to get the crank out of the bottom, being a savage. Then I pound the pistons down, clean the cylinders, and then pulled it all out and inspected everything. It's, the motor looks fine. I got rings, bearings, and gaskets, cam and timing gear stuff. All that's in a box in the back, so it's ready to go. The heads, I did Sunday. I did the video on reconditioning the heads, and got to the point where I got to re-clean them again. But they're all surfaced and they're all taken apart and they're all ported. And yeah, those videos did well. Got a lot of positive comments about it.
I noticed there hasn't been any response to a certain video that I put up.
Oh, I've tried to make that video 3 times.
Oh, did you?
Yes. And every time I'm like, oh, this looks dumb.
So you intend on responding to my call out?
Yes, because I visited because I go to all these shops that are GM guys, and I'm like, what do you got for engines later out? And they're like, oh, I got this and this and this and this and this. So that was part of it. And so,
okay.
Yeah. That'll probably get done maybe tomorrow afternoon because I got stuff in the morning until about 1 o'clock. But then
I'm not going to say anything else about it. I'll just wait and watch your video.
Yeah.
I haven't heard from Brian yet.
Oh, okay. Does he? We should have him on when is it Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday night. Today's Wednesday. Is he up for that or no?
Say that again now.
Is Brian up for coming on like a Wednesday night?
I don't know. But you could ask him.
Yeah,
probably. But if you can think of anybody else you want to call out, I'm willing to take on everybody. Yes, Rocco, the race to the toilet.
Yeah. The golden toilet 660.
Okay, here's a good one. Minecraft hacker. Minecraft hacker? Okay. What are the most common different places a car can be burning oil without leaking it?
Well, obviously there's a few. Your rings could be shot or gummed up or anything like that. They're not sealing. A big thing, and I covered this in the video the other day, the valve seals on your intake valves. If your guides are shot and your seals are rock hard because they're 40-some years old, you can suck oil right through right underneath the valve cover, suck it right into the cylinder every time that you go sucking in air for the intake cycle. PVC.
The telltale on the valve guides is you won't get smoke when you give a gas. You'll get smoke when you put off the gas, when you let off, because the vacuum rises and
It
and
sucks
will
all the oil right
all
into
the
the
oil
valve.
it can through there.
Yeah, and the rings are shot every time you hammer it. It's just a puff.
Yeah. Dr. Wang is saying gouged cylinders.
Yeah.
Severe bore taper. I have lots of things. Lots of things.
Mm-hmm.
I know one. I know, and not specifically because I don't remember the engine that it was. It was a foreign engine. It might have been a Nissan, might have been a Honda. I don't remember. But there was one of them where there was a head gasket issue, where it had an oil passage, a pressurized oil passage, right, very close.
Oh,
to,
for like to feed the valve train or something.
feed the valve, yeah, and it was so close to the bore that the head would move a little bit, and it would start pumping oil into that cylinder. So there's countless different ways that you can eat oil. Bad intake manifolds, the gasket.
Yeah, you suck it right, into the intake. Yeah.
And that can be frustrating too, because generally speaking, it won't. If it's pulling oil through a small break in the bottom of the intake manifold gasket, you won't necessarily get like the kind of rough running that you get with a vacuum leak, because the oil is thick enough that it'll kind of, you know what I'm saying? It'll
kind of congeals that hole, but still sucks.
Yeah. But when it, yeah. So yes, many things can do it. Well, Parquet is in the house.
Hi, Kay.
She is not playing. She is here. She's very cool. Mo Parquet is very cool.
Yeah.
She really is. I like the fact that she knows nothing. Right? She came from completely outside of our universe. You know, she's like, she came from planet Cliff.
It's like, I'll buy a duster and let's.
Right. You know, she's just like totally. She's thrown her whole self into it, and I love that. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Bill McKeiska, thank you for the super chat. The race for the toilet should include a time handicap for how much Taco Bell you can consume over the time course. I love that.
Oh, how many chicken tacos you can eat in the 15 seconds it takes you to go off road, and yeah.
That's how we really explode. No, I mean, I'm down with that.
That could be the tiebreaker.
Yeah, well, what if we do is just mount the GoPro in the car and count how many tacos get eaten during the run. I'm down with that. Bill McKeiska, that's truly advanced thought.
That's genius, Bill.
Yeah, you and Nikolai Tesla you
goddamn Bill, you're a genius.
Tim Burns, cracked pistons. Yes, a cracked piston can definitely cause oil burning. Ford CD Burger, that was overhead cam motors leaking from pressure. Yeah, but there was one engine in particular. This goes back to like the 80s. That I remember I did a few of them, and that was the telltale. It would start. It was showing oil on that one plug. I don't remember the engine, but yeah, it was probably almost certainly it was an overhead cam motor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's sweaty fat guy. We don't have good tacos like Taco John's or Taco Bueno, so we just have to do the Taco Bell here, sir. So,
FJB, how did you lock the cam bushings in on the Harley? I have not yet. So here's what I'm doing with that bike, right? I have every flavor of Sportster, right? The way it is right now. Like I have a nice stock original one. I got one that's just like a chrome bar hopper type of thing, you know, with drag bars and chrome. I've got like a road bike. I got my little chopped down 1200 hot rod. So now I want to do like a bling sort of like an ape hanger, freaking that type of thing. So I'm gathering parts so that I have everything I need to do that bike, and then we'll do it all in one shot. So we'll do the I know how I'm going to do it too. But we'll do the cam bushings and all of that, and then we'll do it'll be a quick project, like an episode or two project on it. But I just want something that's obnoxious, stupid. I want a stupid looking bike because you know that's part of the Sportster spectrum. So I need a stupid bike.
And then 72Z28, because he's asked this a couple times. Not on that newer computers, because those computers you actually have to send in and get unlocked either by Chrysler or like HP tuners. Then you can tune them, and they have so many tables and so much other stuff on them. I just refer them to my buddy who does that up in Michigan. So those I don't touch. You have to stay in your lane. That's way out of my lane.
Fun with cars. Buick 3.8 running too rich. Lean it out some. I think, Dr. What do you think? Lean it out some, right?
Lean it out some and change the intake manifold. How many 3.8 liter Buick manifolds, plastic melted intake manifolds did you have to change?
Wait, what year is it? Is it 3.8 or is it 3800? I know. One or the other.
The one that had the EGR valve with the plastic intake up front, where it would melt.
That's the 3800. So technically,
I bought so many of those for $500 because they wouldn't run, and put a $200 intake on it and sold it for $3,500 the next day.
Oh, there's Iowans in here. Alpha 13 Dylan says there's other Iowans in here.
We got an Iowan investigation.
When did we start letting Iowans in here?
I think it's so cold. It's like a dog. We let them in the house for a little while.
Yeah, but they have to drink the separate water fountain.
Yeah. Shaped like a cob of corn. You drink from there.
I'm scrolling back up here.
Old McDonald has a car. He had a 751.
751?
Yeah, Old McDonald has a car.
Okay, hang on. I'm not as fast as you, Dr. Art. There it is. Okay. Could the distributor vacuum advance pull oil up into the distributor and have... No,
but that's the reason why I pulled them up. I have seen GM, the vacuum servo on the back of a transmission split
modulator,
turbo 3, and they start sucking trans fluid into the engine from the and it's smoking, and you're like, it's not using that oil.
That was a common defect. They redesigned those modulators like in the late 70s or very early 80s. But that was like a design, like a common design flaw, where it was very common for them to go bad, and the car would be going down the street and just blowing crazy huge amounts of white smoke out the back, but it would still shift. It would still kind of shift normally. So yeah, that was very common. Dr. Wang, what's the money?
That's somebody's having fun with, Dr. Wang here. Yeah.
No, but then again, he might actually be. I don't know.
Dr. Goldfield Wang.
I'm taking him.
The Jewish Japanese guy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What now you see the silver AI guy, right?
Yeah.
This is notorious now. Everybody knows the silver AI guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. What are your opinions on exhaust diameter? Is back pressure being a myth? How important is scavenging? I've done several videos on this, but there is never, ever a case where back pressure is beneficial. I've done whole videos on it, so I don't want to recap all of it now. But back pressure is a myth. Exhaust diameter, you're almost better too small than too big, because too big loses the heat quickly. Too small will at least stay hot. You keep the velocity high. Heat is the lubricant for exhaust. How important is scavenging? The most important thing, probably the single most important element. So here's what you need to know about scavenging. Okay, we know that the piston comes down on the intake stroke, and the valve is open, and you say, yes, the piston is pulling the mixture in from the intake manifold, right? People don't realize is that the same vacuum you feel, let's say, when you put your hand over the top of a carburetor, is the same vacuum that's felt in that port. The piston is only very barely able to overcome that vacuum on its own. So in other words, the piston can pull down, but to actually pull mixture out of that low pressure area is very, very difficult. So in order to initiate the flow into the cylinder, scavenging is what does that. Scavenging happens when the intake and the exhaust valve are open together at top dead center, right? So top dead center exhaust stroke, intake and exhaust valve are both open. The column of exhaust is now pulling through past the intake, right? Through the valves into the intake port and reaching in and grabbing part of that mixture and starting to pull it through. Now, once it starts to pull it through, the piston now comes down and the piston takes over. But without that pull, the piston has a very hard time initiating any flow into the chamber because that low pressure area is uniform through the whole plenum. So that's where scavenging is so freaking important. And that period of overlap is built into every single overhead, every single four-stroke engine design that there is. You always have to have that period of overlap just to get the mixture initiated, and you go. Did I say that okay? I think I might have.
Yeah. And then, I mean, we could discuss the benefits of scavenging with headers versus manifolds, because in all that, if that was part of his question or not, I don't know.
I don't know. Well, he can pop back in.
I gotta. La, I'm here, but I'm doing something real quick. Sorry for being.
Yeah. Robert Trio, scavenging is responsible for most cylinder filling. Yes. Zero, welcome back. Welcome back. Let's see. Is scavenging Minecraft hacker? Is scavenging why you need a different cam for a blower? You don't need a different cam, but different power adders want different things. Nitrous wants a different situation than supercharger does. A turbocharger wants a different situation than either of those, and that's where the cam grinder's expertise comes in. Because there's no one one size fits all, but different types of power adders on different types of engines are going to have certain characteristics, and that's where you get a blower cam and a turbo cam and a nitrous cam and a nitro cam, and there's all different, but it's not a one size fits all thing. Fubar in the house? I didn't see Fubar.
I haven't seen Fubar. Oh, he must be.
I saw that Zero called out Fubar. Doesn't matter. I'm going to call out Fubar anyway. Fubar the Axe. Guys, did you see? Zero and Fubar have been around since the beginning. And so is Dean Stevenson, really. Did you guys see that I cut loose all of our old lives from like 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022? There's some really stupid shit in there. Probably, but I did it anyway.
Jimmy Luce with the super chat.
Jimmy Luce, thank you, sir. I recently seen multiple drag strip release official statements banning EVs from the track due to crash or fire hazards. Your thoughts on this? Yes. So here's the thing, and this is not me being anti-EV, right? Because I'm fine with the drag strip. When I know like a plant is going to run, I go watch, and I'm cool with that, right? I like it. So here's the thing. Last night I watched a video of a street race, okay, and I was hitting from the starting line, and the cars get out towards the big end, right, and just one boom, okay, and the next thing you know, the thing's upside down, it's spinning around and flipping around and do all kinds of crazy, silly things, okay, and it's like, all right, now it comes to a stop and it's all good, all right, fine. And if the thing had, let's say, a fuel fire or something like that, Okay, as long as the driver isn't trapped, he'll get out. He gets a little singed. It's not a big deal, right? But if, let's say that was an electric car, and not that it was the electric car that lost control, you don't know what's in the other lane. You see what I'm saying? Well, now what happens? You've got electrical system failure. The electric doors don't open, nothing. And if the thing catches fire, there's no way to put it out. There's no way to pull the guy out. It's a massive, massive liability. Not only
Yeah, you don't have time to get that guy out. That's like
yeah,
4,000 degrees in a second. Yeah.
And that brings something else up too, and it just reminded me of this. Okay, so when I'm at the track, right, I'm doing like I'm just doing testing tunes, and let's say it's in a freaking super slow car, right? Most of the time I wear a helmet, and I'll belt up. Okay, why? Why would you do that? It's like cars only going 100 miles an hour. Why would you even bother with something like that? Because I have seen so many instances. I've been there. When it comes to drag racing, I've been there. I've seen it. I have seen goats fuck in the marketplace. Okay, I've seen it all. So I've seen many, many instances where during time shots, they'll put, a slow, a 13, 14-second car in one lane. You got an 8-second car in the other lane. And then the next thing you know, 8-second car decides it wants to dance with the 14-second car. And you get, so when you're on the track and you don't know what you're going to be paired up against, you know what's happening next? Better safe than sorry. Belt up, put a helmet on, right? Even if it's a stupid freaking slow car and you feel like an idiot doing it, doesn't matter. You never know what they're going to put in the other lane and what the car in the other lane is going to do. One of the most violent crashes I ever saw was at ATCO. Crazy, crazy, crazy. It was a Maverick. It was like a 12-second Maverick, like a street car, right? And this thing went out about 350 feet and just maybe it broke a hose or something, got into the water. It center punched the guardrail, spun around, the back ass hit it, then it flipped over onto its roof and it barrel rolled. I was like, this is like a freaking 12-second car. And it wasn't even like halfway down the freaking track yet when it happened. I was like, you never know what's going to happen. So always be safe better safe than sorry. I just rambled off onto, I'm sorry. Yes, the band EV is from I got a problem.
No, but they're cool to watch, and it's because it messes with your mind because they make no noise but go, but they're kind of a danger to those around them,
Let's see. I'm scrolling back up. Shannon Sodium Mati. What's your opinion on running an inline fuel pump? I'm using one on my motor because it doesn't have a provision for a mechanical pump and it doesn't seem to work well.
Couple things. Because if you're running the Holly red or black or whatever it is, the 7 PSI electric Holly pump, it needs to have as big as you can possibly put on it hose coming from the gas tank to that pump to feed the pump, so the pump doesn't have to draw, because pumps don't draw, they push. That's the most of the time that's just what you see. The problem is the feed of the pump itself.
Okay, what he just said is common to any of those high performance vane type fuel pumps. It's not even just the size of the line. It has to be below the level of fuel in the tank, and they don't want to even start a suction, right? A siphon. So, and I've had this happen where it's like, okay, I had the pump mounted just a little too out of line with and it wouldn't pull enough vacuum. It wouldn't create enough draw to pull the fuel up out of the tank to even initiate the flow. Once the vanes are wet, then yeah, the vacuum like there's no tomorrow, right? They're pulling there's no tomorrow. But when they're dry, no, they just don't want to pull. So that's a problem. They do make pumps that like clackers and stuff like that, where it'll pull just fine. The Carter pumps, like the Carter 50-gallon pump, the common ones, they've been building this, they make the same pump since the 1850s. That'll pull. But the Hollies, the Hollies and oh God, there were so many different. They won't.
Yeah, the spinny vane type pumps. Yeah, they like to be low. But I mean,
Let's see.
and Shannon's pretty savvy. So what's the actual issue you're having, Shannon?
Yeah, I'll wait for that while I scroll back up.
All right.
Yes, Mark Survey. The rule of thumb is inline pump at the most rear of the vehicle and as low as possible.
Yep.
Where other pumps, like the clackers and stuff like that, which are not high performance pumps. Those are 5 psi average, like max 6 psi pumps. You can't get a lot of volume through them, but those are intended to be mounted, let's say, under the hood, and they will pull fuel all the way from the tank, all the way, and no problem. That's what they're designed for. But you can't use them really in a high performance. They can't pass enough volume to keep adequate fuel flow at higher RPM with a bigger carburetor. They're great for drivers. They're great for like stock muscle cars. Things that 600-700 CFM carburetors, 5,000 RPM. They work okay. Alpha 13 Dylan, thank you for the super chat. What cam would you recommend for a D-stroke 400 Chevy? 377 cubic inch, 9-to-1 compression, 202, 160 intake valves. Headers, air gap intake, 3-speed manual, 3-weight gears, short box. We didn't say how tall a tire. You threw all that other good information in there, but you didn't say how tall a tire you had. What cam would I recommend?
And yeah, I mean, do you want to daily drive it, or do you want to either rip it down the freeway at 100, or you're pulling 6 monkeys in a circus wagon? What are you doing with the truck?
And I assume it's a stick because it says short box, and I think he's saying short ratio. Oh, 3-speed manual. Okay.
Yeah, 3-speed manual.
Well, that gives you a lot of leeway. That gives you a lot of leeway since you don't have to work with a converter. I can't recommend a specific cam grind. The weight of the car, the intended use. What would you say, Dr. Art? I'm thinking something. So advertised duration, I'm thinking someplace in the 280, 290 range for a drive.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, if he put the money in the motor to do a D-stroke 400, 400, he's probably got a good amount of money in the thing, and he's got the bigger Chevy heads and stuff like that. So he probably wants to make some power. So he's going to need, with the 308 gears, he's going to need some grunt down low.
Yeah, but it is a manual. So I mean, I'm going to say something advertised duration in the 280, 290 degree range. Lift as much lift as you can get away with whatever cylinder heads you've got there. So if they're stock heads and factory cast heads, you're limited to like 550 lift or thereabouts, unless you actually trimmed the valve guides for extra. So figure out what your maximum lift is, what you can get away with, and that's what you go with there. And I would say something. I would go like on a 110. Since it's a manual,
give it some legs. Go to the 110. Yeah.
Yeah, I think something in the 110 give you that best compromise. It'll be punchy. It'll be punchy. So yeah, 290, 550 on a 110 would be a fun, choppy, punchy kind of cam for that. Would you agree?
I agree 100%.
Does anybody disagree? Throw your 2 cents in here. We got cam grinders in it. Powell is going to jump in there. You're an idiot.
You're an idiot. Oh, it's lobster. Yeah.
80 Cobra has a question for you, Dr. Art.
Is it okay to use straighted solid coil wires with an electronic ignition as long as you use resistor plugs? The solid core wires are going to make noise no matter what. And if you have like sensitive electronics, something that's computer controlled under the hood, I wouldn't do it. You're going to end up having to shield all the wires for your, ignition system and or injection or whatever else you got on there. And then you tell me this, Tony, have you ever seen a benefit on a 500 horsepower motor for solid core wires?
Well, the quality of the wires has to do with how much voltage you need to pass to the plugs, and that all has to do with what you're trying to fire in the chamber. Because a 5,000 RPM motor on alcohol is a whole lot different than a 5,000 RPM motor on gasoline.
Right.
Different compression ratios. Super high compression ratio engine is going to take more oomph. For a gasoline engine, a 5,000 RPM gasoline engine with, let's say, 10 to 1 compression, like just go with the averages, right? 10 to 1 compression, 750 carburetor, that sort of stuff, does not need anything more potent than, assuming everything is working correctly, and it has a moderate cam in it, doesn't need anything more potent than a stock ignition system to function just fine. But now boost it, right, or throw nitrous on there. Or spin it significantly higher, and that's when you start to, or change the fuel, go to E85 or go to alcohol. Then you need that much more spark.
Oh, okay. He's clarifying here. He goes, I want them to use them. Just got a nice universal cheap set. He didn't know they were solid.
I will use them.
And if you get interference, you might have to wrap them in foil around your ignition box.
Well, instead of asking us, why don't you ask the manufacturer of your ignition box? An EDIS ignition.
Yeah,
I don't know what an EDIS ignition is.
Hang on, let me see.
I have to do a.
EDIS, electronic distributorless ignition system. So he's got the one main coil. You're fine. Use them. Yeah, the Ford EDIS is like on when they got the big bank of coils together.
Dr. Art.
Yes.
Silver is plummeting.
Is it? It was at 90 something today.
I know it's plummeted. It's down to 89.72.
Oh my gosh! Not $89 on a $30 investment. Oh my gosh!
89.72. You spent $30. What are you crazy? That's big money.
Well, that's what it was the day I went and seen the guy at Smyrna Coin. He's like, hey, it's spot plus this 30. Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah, Ford EDIS. Yeah, you're fine.
I'm just scrolling. Tony, do you have Lenko experience? Yes. Do a 10-minute summary, please. if I got my hands on a Lenko, I'll show it to you. It's just a planetary out of an automatic. If you understand how a planetary works on an automatic transmission, that's what a Lenko is. And the early Lenko.
Engage, disengage, engage, disengage. Yeah.
Instead of using hydraulic pressure, it just uses a mechanical wedge.
You're the guy.
Yeah. I am the hydraulic.
Yeah.
Rocco was saying broke 95 earlier today. Well, I'm anxious to say it's already trading over 100 in Shanghai last night. It was like 103 or 10 something, or it was a ridiculous number in Shanghai. So yeah, the physical market is trading higher in Asia than it is here, which means that like all of the metal from here is heading over
there.
Peak. And if you have any hope at all of ever getting into this market, actually own physical, you better do it now and don't pay attention to the price, because it's literally all leaving here right now. If the price is 95 here, okay, and the price is 105 in Shanghai, what's happening, right? It's arbitrary. People are buying here at 95 and flipping it immediately. You know what I mean? For So
Yeah.
that's what's happening. The silver is leaving us right now. If you have any ambition of getting in the market at all, don't waste any time. I've got to do it now.
And just for fun, I was on Monex last night, and like silver bullion, which is mostly what I have, an ounce is like $129.
Yeah. Oh well, eagles, like silver eagles, they're actually the mint is suspending production on all. There's so many different things that are going on right now. I don't want to get sidetracked into all of that, but yeah, if you have any ambition of getting into the silver market, you better do it now and don't worry about the price.
Oh, lots of Mopar Man 78's got a good question there.
My 82 Dodge D150 Shortbed is a 225 slant 6 2-barrel with a high flow exhaust and a 904 auto with 8 1/4, 355 gears and a sugar. Is that a good combo? I think so, but could be wrong. It's perfection.
Yeah,
It's perfection.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they consider 82 the tin grill, but on that, box style Dodge, yeah, that's just drive all day long.
Thunderstruck, do you have ICE police in Tennessee? I'm from Canada and wonder what it's like, and what are your thoughts about it? We don't have enough ICE here in Tennessee for there to be really any rules or any policing of ICE here. Generally, we get ICE sometime like this time of the year, middle of January until like February. You'll get some, it'll rain, you'll get a little bit of ice on the ground, and it's over. But no really need to dedicate a police force to that particular problem here, unlike Canada. You've got ice everywhere all the time.
No, the closest we get here is that red bear on top of the machine with he's like the icy bear. So he's
the icy bear,
his territory, but
KJ Kylie, Tony, anyone ever make small ball pattern steelies in 14x7? I want to have an extra burnout set for the rear. Yeah, but the offsets are all weird. So like the K cars, when Chrysler went to the front wheel drive cars, they use that small ball pattern. It's a metric version of it. It's off by like 1 millimeter. It doesn't make any difference. But you have all different offsets. Some of them are minivans, and some are like Daytonas, and some are like K car. So you got to hunt around. But like I said, the offsets make it rough to put into anything but a Duster. Why do I say that? Duster or early Barracuda, 67 through 69, because the Duster has extra wide wheel openings, and the 67 through 69 CUDA have no restriction to the width or the offset of the wheel based on the wheel opening. So you got to hunt around.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Frost police. Now we do get a lot of frost, so it would be a good idea to have some. Yeah,
I think that's the guys in the helicopters taking pictures of roofs.
Probably.
It's cold in the morning. Yeah.
Well, we get frost on the shingles.
Yeah.
You've seen
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and they got to be in a helicopter to see everybody's roof. The shingles, and they go by and.
Yeah. So yes,
Make sure you have insulation. Yeah.
We could use that here.
Mm-hmm.
Granddad's junk is in the house.
Yeah.
Um,
He's ready on Thursday, so he doesn't.
I'm just scrolling up to see if I missed anything interesting.
Yeah.
Robert Trio, they are selling bags of copper pennies on Metal site. Yeah, that's a big deal. I've been buying copper. I just bought another 500 ounces today. So you guys want the arbitrage deal, right? Well, I don't know. Let's not even. Never mind. I'm not going to talk about metals. Sweaty fat guy is saying around here we police our own ice and snow, and that's as it should be.
Yeah, as it should be.
And Firefly says that there is a shingles vaccine now. I guess he's talking about the frost on the shingles.
Yeah.
Nickels, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I said I'm going to stay away from metals, but I think of you guys as my family. It's like, okay. It's like I have to. I just got to. If I find something cool, I got to pass it on. Nickels, right? Right now, the melt value of a nickel is 8.5 cents, right? So if you have, let's say,
I got all these fucking nickels.
Yeah. It's crazy, but you can go right now to your bank and get a box of nickels. What's that?
I think it's like a $2 sleeve for nickels.
It's what?
I think the sleeve of nickels is $2.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like round numbers. If you go and buy like $100 worth of nickels, you've actually got like $140. Melt.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything. It's like here. So I would be looking at that, guys. Mexican spec, isn't it illegal to melt down currency? Not for you. Not for you. Oh, Bill McKayska. I think you missed my QJet question. I am going to scroll back up, my brother.
Did we, Bill? Sorry about that, Bill.
Yes. I'm scrolling. Man, we really must have missed it.
Yeah. Just throw it up again there, Bill. Just type it in the comments.
I'm going way back. Bill, I don't think it showed up. We didn't get your question here.
Yeah, just throw it on there.
Oh, wow.
That
was a long time ago. Oh, and thank you for the super chat.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Is it possible to grind down enough metal in the fuel blow of a QJet to expand its capacity that fuel starvation is a problem? Stroke small block going quarter mile, that has to be stock appearance. They do. Okay, so yes, they do some modifications to the, because a lot of guys race quadrojets in fast. There's smaller floats that they use. I'm sure you can increase the capacity of the bowl a little bit. But with the quadrojet, the thing that you need to focus on most is fuel supply. Because if you can get, and that's why all of those cars with quadrojets had the half-inch fuel lines from the factory. Everybody, I'm sorry, as I say, half-inch 7/16, where like Chrysler, the standard fuel line was a 5/16, and then like a Hemi, a 6-pack would be 3/8. Well, anything with a quadrojet comes with 7/16 right off the bat. And the reason for that is because you need to keep up the fuel flow into the carburetor, big volume. So that's what you want to focus on. You don't want to run the filter, the filter that's in the Quadrajet. You don't want to run a filter there. You want to run an inline filter because there's more restriction to that filter than there is to one that's on the inline. There's lots of little things you can do, increasing the opening, all the passages, radiusing the openings, any sharp edges. You have to detail the fuel inlet system on that carburetor, and then depend mostly on fuel flow, constant fuel flow to it. Because if you just rely on what's in the bowl itself, no, it's not going to work. But yeah, there's people that trick out Quadrajets, and they go really fast with them. But the emphasis is on fuel delivery, not so much fuel storage. Did that make sense, Bill? I hope. Dr. Art, what do aftermarket ECU cost? $1,000 and up? Not anymore.
There's been a few good companies that have just came out. I was reading about one. I can't remember the name of it. It's like a 3-letter word, USD or something like that, where they make basically it's like a little mega squirt that you can harness into your car, and it's like $180, and it's fully programmable. So this, the $1,000 and $1,500 Holly stuff is, for racers and all the ins and outs and stuff. But to make it run, an aftermarket one, you can get for a couple $100.
Joker, Tony, on the Jeep 4-liter, the distributor versus ignition coils on the later years, which was superior? I have a 99 that has that horseshoe intake manifold and the distributor. And I have a 2000 that I drive every day that has the same intake manifold and it has a distributorless ignition. And there's probably a 2 mile per gallon difference between, although they're completely identical. Both 4 doors, both 2-wheel drive, both same gears, same everything, and the same person driving it. And the carbureted, the distributor version of that engine gets approximately 2 miles per gallon better than the coil pack version of it. The distributor version is smoother, has a very, very unnoticeable idle. Okay, and the distributorless version has a little bit of a vibration to the idle. It's not quite as smooth as the other one. And I drive the two of them back to back, out of one and into the other. So the motor, they have approximately the same mileage on them. The motors have approximately the same wear on them, the same state of tune, same everything. And I noticed that the distributor one functions better overall than the coil and plug one. That said, I wouldn't go nuts trying to change the coil and plug thing because it works just fine. It's really, makes life really easy. I had to pull the head off of that, and it's like 6 quick bolts, boop, and there's the entire ignition system. So I would say the distributor version is better for whatever reason.
Because look at how good the little Mission Improbable Jeep runs with, and that's the distributor. That little thing's ridiculous.
Which I'm getting back on there. So I've decided I'm gonna weld some spider gears, and I may actually do that this week before the week is out. Get that done because now that I got that drag here, I'm gonna go play around.
On the Duck Jeep or on Mission Improbable?
Mission Improbable. The Duck Jeep. Oh. So what's going on with 0 ducks given? I won't mention the channel because it's probably not cool to mention it yet. But we got invited. A very well-known Jeep XJ channel threw me a text and invited me to join them on a ride. So I'm like, yes, count me in. I'm going to do it. So this is in the. I don't have the date yet. When I have more details, I'll put them out there.
Is this the guy with a lot of Jeeps in his yard without
Yes,
not to give anything away? Okay.
yes. And I was like, oh my god! It's like, wow, I'm getting invited by these cool people. So so with that, zero ducks given. The XJ that I picked up for playing around in the dirt, it's 2-wheel drive. So I have a friend John. He's also doing YouTube. He's taking that Jeep, my Jeep. He's going to convert it over to 4-wheel drive, and we're going to team up and we're going to go together to that. So there's going to be a lot of XJ stuff happening in the very near future. So, but I'm not gonna work on that Jeep. I'm gonna let him do it because he loves these Jeeps and he'll make content out of it and everything else. But also because I have to do some work on the Belvedere because I have an off-road challenge that So
And it's kind of the original incarnation of the Belvedere from what you were thinking a while ago.
Well, what we had talked about.
Yeah.
What we had talked about, yes. Which you got to admit, something like that is just fun. That's just pure fun.
Oh, it is. It's fun, yeah. Shannon asks, "What's the status of the Nitro car? Still waiting on parts since Christmas time?" Yes.
I just did a video on it yesterday or the day before. It's like, yes, there's nothing happening. Absolutely nothing. I don't anticipate having anything for that car before the end of this month.
Well, he did get me my brake parts. So
you got your brake parts.
Got the brake parts. I just got to get them from where he lives into my hands and down here. So that's
okay.
I'll work out I think he's up north snowmobiling this week or something. So
okay. All right. Well, that's a step in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
But heads and the clutch stuff, I have no idea. Richard Stanberry, is it possible to run an auto shop on solar panel alone? Yes, if all of the vehicles you work on are like 1/25th scale and smaller.
So I would say yes.
Yeah,
and then
1/25th scale. That's like math.
It depends on the amount of panels you have roof for on your shop. How big is your shop? If your shop is 2 bays and stuff like that, you might not have enough. But if you got a body shop and this and that, you got lots of flat roof space. Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah, to efficiently run a shop, the lighting, air compressor, and then the
air conditioning, cash register, lights. Yeah.
So if you had if your shop, let's say you had the shop was, you need a pretty substantial roof for that. So I'm going to say if the shop was 25,000 by, let's say, 25,000 square feet. So add that. What would that be? I think that would give you enough surface area on the roof. You may need to go to about 30,000 square feet.
Yeah, square feet, not 25,000 by 25,000. That would be
no.
That'd be 500,000 square feet. Yeah.
Well, you think about this now, right? Solar, and you need to charge the batteries so that you've got so you need the extra to charge the batteries, so you've got reserve. But then you've got to operate the lights, the compressor, the lifts, welders, battery chargers,
coffee machine, cash register,
cash register. Yeah, your shop would probably have to be about 25,000 by about 25,000 to run it off of. So that's not a lot if you stop and you think about it. So you got 5,000 feet to a mile. So the shop would be
a 5 mile shop.
If the shop was about 5 miles wide and 5 miles deep, yes, absolutely, you could run that on solar. That's the future. That's the future, guys. Let's see.
Bear homeowner DIY. It's towards the bottom there.
Oh, rope is a good idea. Put the shop about 35,000 feet in the air, a lot more sun, a lot more often up there.
You're closer to the sun.
You are closer to the sun, and that would give you definitely enough voltage to
more power. Yeah.
Yeah, operate a shop.
Mm-hmm. Go down from there, right at that Bear homeowner.
Okay. Tony Bear, I'm 55. For a few years ago, been a handyman. You're doing good these days, aren't you? Dodge SM was stoked towards shop, met techs. No tech issues. Can afford it in great shape. It will last 10 years. Well, it last 10. Oh, wait. Okay. Dodge service manager was stoked. You toured shop. You met the techs. You know tech issues. Can afford it in great shape. I don't.
He can afford to go work in a shop, and he says he's in great shape. Will he last 10 years as a tech? I would suggest, Bear, if you are going to do it, it's going to kill you. But if you are going to do it, see if he needs straight used car techs, because those guys are just doing tires and brakes and breaking in the hours, and they're not upside down underneath the dash looking for wires and rattles and creaks and stuff like that. They take the easy route. But as a line tech, you could run marathons, but you're still 55, dude.
Man, my advice to you would be stick in the world of handyman. Yeah, I know. I mean, okay. Now, I worked at a dealer for about 2 weeks back when I was in my 20s. Okay, so here I can't tell you what to do, right? But for me myself, going to work at a dealership is utterly and completely off the table. I mean, it's just like for me, it's not even something that would enter the realm of possibilities. You know what I'm saying? It's like not even in the realm of possibilities would I enter that world. I would deliver Chinese food first. I mean, quite literally, I would rob gas stations and liquor stores before I went into that world, because that world is nothing but aggravation, and it's getting worse every year. It's terrible. The stuff they can't keep techs. Why can't they keep techs? Because they can't pay them enough to put up with the aggravation that they have to deal with on a daily basis, and it gets worse all the time. That is a dying industry. That industry is a buttload of trouble. Whereas your handyman, okay, that is the gold. Okay, that's the gold.
You're going to make money faster doing it working on cars in your garage.
Yeah, of course. Work on some cars in the garage. Do light work and stuff like that for your friends, or for your handyman clientele. But man, if you could do like minor appliance repair, you could do minor roof repair, minor shingles, you can get somebody's pool pump refired up again. You can fix the hole in their shed and stuff like that. You are in the right place at the right time, right? Especially look at the divorce rate. Look at the number of single females that are out there, right? 40s, 50s, 60 years old, right? They're on their own. There's your market. They always need something done, and they don't have anybody to do it for them. You can make a fortune,
and all cash.
Yeah, and it's all dead presidents you get paid. It's like that's where I would be.
Yeah, if you're being a handyman and you got a good rep in your area, stuff like that, you could lots of work and do car stuff on the side.
And it's fun. It's fun because you're not doing the same job twice. You know what I'm saying? You're always, you know what I mean? Things are always, it's a little bit different. You go to a different place, you work on a different job, you meet different people, eat lunch in a different spot. And your life, it gives you a life. You know, what you do for a living is one thing, okay, but the overall general quality of your life should include your work. You know what I'm saying? And to be, you know, stuck in a bay, you know what I mean? And let's say, well, this is I got to be here. I get a lunch break and I get a break here and there. But other than that, these are my.
And you're not going to get the gravy work because you're FNG, and they're gonna, yeah.
Shannon is saying, "Damn, I'm only 36, and as a tech at a dealership, I struggle to make it every day. Yes, UTG, it's horrible. Yes, well, tell the other guy. Tell the other guy. We're in basic A-track. Oh, please. Bear, that's what I would that's where I would be going with that. You know, I just talked myself into wanting to start like a handyman business.
That's what I've been missing.
Yeah, I'm trying to read questions, and I'm saying to myself, you know, that would be freaking fun. Right? All right. Dr. Wang, would you recommend any young person become a tech these days? Not a tech, no, but a specialist. I recommend that anybody young who's in the world of mechanics is pick a specialty, pick something that
Yeah,
is
if you love your Hondas or Toyotas or whatever, open yourself up a little specialty shop, even if it's 2 bays for right now, and you're just getting started, and you can just, you know, you can pay the bills and eat.
right.
Work on your skills and build that, and you'll be 1,000 times happier.
Focus on. I know when I say specialty, he's got one aspect of it. Absolutely. Here's another aspect of it. Right. Become a transmission electronics specialist. Okay. Learn all of the various and specialize. Get all of the test equipment and know that, you know, get to know that whole universe of just electronic transmission controls. All right. And now you'll have shops all over the place. You're contacting you. You'll be doing wholesale work for shops. Pick things like that. Okay. Where it's like a very specialized, very pinpointed aspect of the automotive world, and apply all of your resources towards getting the equipment and gaining the knowledge of those systems, and then just go out there and network yourself. Go to every shop in the area and tell them, hey, I do transmission electronics. You ever get fouled up or one? Here's my card. And you're in business. Pick anything like that, right? You could do nothing but evap systems. You could become the evap system guy. When I was younger, we had like when I was in New York, right? And I had a couple of shops in New York. I was in so many different businesses, but there were certain jobs that nobody wanted to do. Heater cores were one of them. Okay, so I hated doing heater cores. I still do, right? So if a customer brought me a car and needed a heater core, I had to be desperate. I had to be dead slow with nothing else to do for me to do the heater core. Instead, I would call the heater core guy, and we had a guy. You would go to your shop, or you could bring the car over to him, and that's all he did. All he did was heater cores, and he was busy all the time because every shop in the area was like, I ain't touching that. And the heater core guy would knock out the job in 15 minutes. What's going to take you the entire freaking day is going to take him 15 minutes. He did it. I saw him do a neon once. You guys don't remember the neon, right? To do a heater core on a Dodge Neon. Something crazy over there. Do a heater core on a Dodge Neon. You had to disassemble the entire front of the car. I know it sounds insane. The dashboard had to come out, yeah. But the way the wiring harness was run, in order to get the heater core free, you had to undo the wiring harness. And in order to get all of that wiring harness undone, the radiator had to come out, all kinds of stuff had to come out so you could feed the main harness in far enough to get everything out. It was ridiculous. I watched him do it in 2 hours. This was a job that they took the average mechanic like 8 to 10 hours to do. It's a major overhaul. 2 hours, soup to nuts, boom, boom, boom. That's how you want to do it. That's how you want to specialize. Dr. Wang, no schooling? It depends. It depends on the thing that you want that you're going to specialize in. Let's say you want to become the HVAC guy, the heater control guy. I don't think you really need to go to school for that. You just need to dive in and make that your thing. Uh, it just depends. It just depends what specialty you're going after.
Yeah, you could be Wang's heater core service. You know.
Tool the Toilet is saying the automotive HVAC is a nightmare, which equals good money once you get good at it. If you're a wiry little guy, yeah, it's the other thing too. How are you built, right? Because we're all different. If you're 6'4", 230 pounds, you don't ever want to become an HVAC guy, right? You're a little skinny little thing, 5'8", 120 pounds. You're born for that job. So make it fit. Do the job that fits you.
Arca has chicken gun. Yeah, then a Lincoln comes in for a heater core. Yeah, like a town car or a Crown Vic. No, yeah. Run. Or any Fox body or any Ford that's not an old F-150. Just run away. Or be Dr. Wang's, child daycare. You could do that too. I heard that pays pretty good.
Only if you're Somalian. Bear homeowner. The dealer has one trans builder and a diesel guy. As if I was interested, I just want to learn the new tech, MDS, VV, or variable valve, GDI, eTorque, and dealer scan tool, then retire with this knowledge to do solo. Bro, it's going to take you a long time to learn all of those things. Like, you're not going to walk in there and like 3 weeks later you walk out. It's like, I got knocked. No, you're talking about devoting years, and you're 55 years old. Screw that. Screw that. These three are 60 years when you had a heater core guy. He was 5'7" and 130 pounds. Buddy Corfano, Explorer 5 always got stuck with that job. Nobody else in the shop wanted it. I did 2 of them, soup to nuts, and the third one made me quit the business. That car, the Explorer 5 liter, was what made me quit. I was like, I am done with this freaking industry, and that's when I started selling Mopar parts. I had that car, and I had done the job twice already, so I knew the job like the back of my hand. Okay. But I opened, I will never forget this. I was sitting in the middle of my shop. It was the next up, right? And I had time. It's not like I was slammed or anything. It was kind of slow. I had the hood up, and I could not bring myself to work on it. Like I took the air box out, and I said, oh, I'll get something to eat. And then I took off, like the upper right. I drained the antifreeze, and I was like, nah, I got to get a smoke. And then go back like 3 hours later. I just took off another like stupid inconsequential piece, and I was like, I'm really hungry. I got to go home and eat. And it was like that for days, where I could not bring myself to work on it. And that's when I realized I'm done. Done. And I loved being a mechanic. I love doing YouTube, and I'm so grateful for this. You have no idea. But I miss being a mechanic. I miss dealing with my customers. I love my customers. My customers love me. And when I look back at the times, it was just like me in my shop turning wrenches, and those are the happiest days of my life. That's where I belong. That's my happy place. and I can't be there anymore because there's nothing happy to work on anymore.
Somebody had it's Avery. What are the top 3 most fun cars to work on? Cars you're like,
Top
oh
three
yeah.
most, top 3 most fun cars to work on. I loved working on anything with a big block Chrysler just because I loved big block Chryslers and they were a pain in the ass, but it didn't matter because I loved them. I loved being around them. I loved working on anything straight six from the late 60s, early 70s. I think the most fun car I ever had that I worked on a regular was a 69 AMC Rambler. That was, and this car was probably 20 years old. It's still on the road, still in service. It's like a regular customer. And I loved that. I loved working on that car. I loved doing everything on that car. And like I remember when you open the hood and you look down and all you saw was the ground because it was just this pencil thin motor around and like had nothing around it. And it was just like you just look down and there's the ground. I love working on anything simple like that.
That's what I was going to say. Same thing. I'd love working on pickup trucks and 4x4s. Just for the fact that you can get at stuff. Because I'm a giant and I need to, get giant hands in places and do plugs and just normal stuff and taking stuff apart, putting it back. You have room for everything.
I'm the opposite. I shy away from any truck work because I don't like to lean. I'm only 5'10", so it's like you take any like the XJ is as tall a vehicle as I ever want to work on.
No, I like the trucks and stuff because everything's big and it's nothing's dainty and gonna break and stuff like that. You gotta ooga it and stuff like that, and it's all it's all heavy, more of a heavy duty stuff than working on like a little Ford Escort or something, which is very easy to work on, but it's just they're fragile.
People love truck. They love working on truck. People love working on trucks. Big truck people especially love working on trucks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not one of them, but I get it. I respect it. I'm scrolling here. Wheelie King is saying I was getting ready to type straight six as you said it, and Pintos. Pintos are great. I used to love doing the cam jobs on Pintos. They used to eat cams. Those were fun because it was a good paying job, and it's like boom, 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 in and out. The first nightmare. I remember the first night you see people was most fun. The first nightmare job that came along for me was a turbo Sunbird. I had to do a starter job on a turbo Sunbird, and it was like I remember pricing it like it was just a normal job. It was like, yeah, no problem. $40 plus a starter. Because I'm thinking to myself, yeah, boom, boom, in and out. Oh, Jesus. And you got to remember something too about like my early days as a mechanic, or actually all my days as a mechanic. We didn't have YouTube. We didn't have the internet. You couldn't just do a quick search to see what was involved in a job. These days, you work on anything. The first thing you do is you go to YouTube.
Yeah.
Fill in a blank, and you've got every tutorial, every odds, every nuance, and everything. When I was doing this shit, you had to figure it out as you went along.
You looked at it and you went, okay, and you took shit apart till you get to the part you need. Yeah.
Oscar Gonzalez, did you ever have an annoying customer who thought he figured out the problem? All the time. And listen, sometimes the customer is right. I give everybody the voice. It's like, go ahead, tell me what you think. If you have an opinion, tell me what you think, and then I'll talk it out with you. I was one of those mechanics. I didn't like to have my customers hanging around when I worked, but I was one of those mechanics that took the time to explain everything. Okay, so it's like, here the car's making this noise because this is happening and this is happening, and let's say it's a lift noise. You know what I mean? I'll take them over, to a shelf in the shop where I've got lifters and valve springs and everything, and I'll lay it out and I'll say, here's the valve spring, and here's the rocker, and here's the lifter, and here's the push rod. The noise is happening when this is happening, and it's happening because this part is all worn down. And then they get it, and it's like, yes, go ahead. So I always really enjoyed explaining to my customers what was wrong with their cars. And if they had opinions, I would always welcome the opinion and give them my reason why it wouldn't happen, or I would show them on their own car. It's like, no, that's not it, because look, see, this is in the way of this, and you wouldn't be able to get to that because of the other thing. Does that make any sense? I like communicating with my customers.
Yeah, and it's because most of the people and I've been in dealerships, like in OEM all my life. Most people, you give them a 30,000 foot view of what's wrong. They're like, oh yeah, all right, yeah, or no, hell no, I can do that myself. Okay, come on back. It's up on the rack. Let me show you what this guy with all these tools has to do. Now you still want to do this yourself? No. Okay, that's what I thought. And by the way, you need this $600 little special screwdriver to do it.
Yeah.
All card 20. Well, yeah, you can go that one. Yeah.
Oh yeah. 427 FE. I worked for Firestone in the 70s. Customers allowed to watch. We sold that way. It's a way. So here's the thing, right?
If you're behind the glass, yeah.
I was always a small shop. I was never a Firestone or anything like that. So it was always like me and one or two other mechanics in my shop. So there's trust there. You go to a small shop, and I guess explaining all the issues and so on and so forth. There's trust there. When you go to a place like Firestone, a chain, the customer knows you're getting ripped off. So it's almost necessary. You know what I mean? Like here's some windows you can watch us work through there. So they do the same thing with like oil change places. But I didn't like anybody hanging around while I was working on anything, including other mechanics. When I work on something, doesn't matter what it is, I get very into the zone, right? And when you're in the zone, anything will. It's just like when you're trying to fall asleep, and like your dog is scratching at something, and like this, there's like random weird noises outside, and you're like, you're killing my head, right? And it's the same thing if I'm working on something and I just know that there's somebody standing there, and I know that they're about to disrupt my zen by saying, "Hey, you want to get lunch?" or whatever it happens to be. I can't handle it. I get very uptight, and I'm like, just go away. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to acknowledge your existence.
That's why all my videos of working on stuff I do by myself. For one, I can cut out all the swear words and I don't throw wrenches at people. But it's I like to just get in there and get into it and think about it, what you're doing and stuff like that, because you start talking and then your shit's missing when you go to put it back together and stuff. So.
It's Avery. Easiest motors to rebuild, Dr. Art?
Lawnmower engines.
He's probably thinking car.
Probably thinking. I mean, anything that you do a lot of. The 302 Ford, a 350 Chevy. Those are they come a freaking LS motor is like Legos. There's nothing complicated. It's not like an Infiniti QX45, with 11 timing chains, behind the front cover. No, you just want a basic pushrod V8. Any basic pushrod V8 besides some of the weird ones. They're all pretty easy.
I agree with him. Any pushrod V8 or inline six is the easiest one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying I agree with you. Any V8 or inline six pushrod engine is the easiest. So Tula Toilet Septic is saying if a customer wants to watch, fine, sit over there and shut up. It doesn't work like that, because if I'm working on something, so let's say the customer says, "Well, I don't have a ride back, whatever." I would drive my customers home. Like, you go away, right?
Yeah.
Part of my process, if I'm working on something, part of my process is to just stop sometimes, right? Just stop, light up a cigarette, survey the landscape. A lot of times, if I'm deep in work, I'll stop and clean up all the tools. Like, I'll look around and it's like, oh, it's too much confusion here. It's too much chaos. So I'll stop and I'll gather all the tools and put away the ones that I'm not going to use anymore in that job. And I'll wipe down everything else and I organize and I'll have another cigarette and I'll sit and I'll ponder what my next move of attack is. You can't do that when there's somebody sitting next to you.
If somebody's sitting there, they get all mad when you walk away to go take a piss. Why aren't you working on my car?
They destroy your zen.
Yeah. Number one stunner, 4269 up there on the top. He just rolled up to the top. Scroll up.
Number one stunner. Let's see, I'm in a financial situation where I would love to get a thriving salvage business like you used to do with the old Mopars parts going. Is there something that is still possible right now? Which cars? So you talk to, you throw a question out to anybody, and they're going to have an opinion of what's going to be the specific car. Me right now, if I was to pick one vehicle to specialize in, and I only notice this because I now own one and now I see them everywhere. Minivans. Pick a minivan. Do the Chrysler minivans, the line of Chrysler minivans, or do the line of Toyota minivans, or oh my God. Here's the thing about these, okay? They're part and system rich, okay, but not complicated part and system rich. So in other words, like, all of the doors and hatches and stuff like that all have motors. They all have drive systems. They all have switches and stuff like that. And they're not crazy overcomplicated ones. So there are so many of them out there in such great numbers, and they're so rich in systems and parts. Something like that could be a gold mine. And that's just my opinion based off of my experience, my thought process on one that I'm currently dealing with right now. But you could fill in the blank with anything like that, from Miatas to, what do you think? What would Dr. Art, what would your choice of vehicle to get into for salvage?
You have to get into something that you're into, so you have a real interest for it and it keeps going.
Yes, that's true.
Because if you despise what you're doing, you're only going to do it for a month. You're going to lose your ass and you're going to move on. That would be my advice: is whatever you love. If you like doing old Mopars, great. If you like X or Z or Y cars, great. But have one.
Pick one you like,
and then drive one, love one, have 3 of them in the house. Just be 100% consumed, yes. And you'll be the expert.
Pick something you would drive yourself and say, yes, I like this. I'm comfortable driving this. Lawrence Teft, thank you for the super chat. No question or anything, I don't think. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Those are the best ones. Here's just $19.99. Thank you.
Next, expect, do minivan owners do their own work? No, but lots of shops do. So if you've got a shop, I mean, just for example, right? You got we have like Christian Brothers Automotive, we got Pep Boys over here, we got a bunch of different places. They get something like that in, and it's got that, let's say, a problem with the hatch drive. If you know what I mean, it's not working, and the customer wants it fixed. They have a choice. They can go to the dealer, and if they can order it through the dealer, and they're going to pay the for it, if right? Or they can go to pull apart, which means they're going to take a man off the job and send him out into the great unknown. And you know he's going to get drunk or smoke a joint or do whatever he's going to do while he's out there. It's all kinds of liability sending a guy out into the field these days. Or you call the minivan guy and you say, "Hey, I got this 2014 Caravan. You have the motor, the setup for it." And then an hour later, here it is, just dropped off at your door, and you just got to put it in. Yes, that's the kind of business that you want to have.
Right, because there's no set price on it. So as the Pep Boys or whatever that's installing it, the customer doesn't know that you paid $40 for it. You tell them it's $200 part because the new one's $200, and they're happy to get all the business from you that they can. Then.
Bobby Z met a guy who bought cheap BMWs and Benzes, and then he sold parts on eBay.
Yeah,
and you need to buy real cheap Benzes and BMWs because when anything goes wrong with them, it's like people are like,
they're mechanically totaled. Goodbye.
Mechanically totaled.
All the weird parts. All the weird, because I have friends that are Mercedes weirdos, and there's certain parts on all of them that go bad, like the amplifier for this particular stereo system that's mounted behind the left seat and stuff like that. No one can find them in the junkyard, but if you have one, it's like gold. Yep. Stuff like that.
Not only that, but to go back to the example of, let's say a customer brings a bigger shop, something like the Caravan and the back hatch mechanism doesn't work, and they call you because they've got your information. They know that when they need parts for these things, they call you. You may also get a subcontractor job putting it in because you know this thing like the back of your friggin' hand, and you could knock the job out in 15 minutes, where it's going to take one of their mechanics 4 hours. So you've also got the opportunity to subcontract. There's so many different ways that if you're a hustler and you got a good imagination and you're good with people, you know what I mean. You create good rapport with these guys. There's no limits to what you can accomplish. Lawrence is saying sorry. There was a question. Lawrence. Well, yeah, hit me.
Yeah. Retype it. Retype it.
Oh wait, here it is.
Oh, you got it. Oh, okay.
Here it is. Okay. On my stock 440, the vacuum will sit at 20 and hold steady, but every few seconds the needle will very slightly flicker, and I can hear what seems like a miss. New plugs and air feel good. Any ideas? So if you've got an intermittent miss. Okay. But every few seconds, is it rhythmic like that? I'm thinking ignition wire. I'm thinking you got a bad plug wire. One that's either burned internally or
just getting weak. Yeah, high resistance or something.
Getting high resistance, or it could be carbon tracked. You'll get like a boot that'll become ionized, and it'll create a little carbon track, and occasionally it'll misfire, right? And it happens just like that, right? And then it goes good again. Check or change your plug wires. That's probably what do you think about that, Dr.
I think that's sound advice.
Okay.
Because if you have a motor that's getting 20 inches of vacuum, it's probably stock and it's got all stock parts, and it's very smooth and happy and basic stuff.
Let's see. Okay, they're talking amongst themselves.
Yeah.
Wirefly is saying, so scrapping the used Euro luxury cars is profitable. On eBay, yeah, I would see that's the kind of business I would not attempt that as a local business, because the odds of you finding a big enough pool of people repairing damaged used European luxury cars is going to be slim to none. But when you've got
If you're on eBay, you're everywhere.
eBay, yeah, that could be a really good business.
Yeah, your digital footprint in the digital age, sir, can get you very, very far.
Yep. It's Avery. I know you like older cars, but if you had to buy a 2005 to 2010 car, what would you choose?
You'd probably get another minivan, wouldn't you, at this point?
Well, I've already got one. I have a 2016
Yeah.
Town and Country, but I only got it for my dogs. I needed a dog thing to go to for the
Yeah.
crate, so we could do shows and events with them. That's what I would buy. But I wouldn't recommend them as like an icon of reliability. And yes, this is your forever car. What would you buy, Dr. Art? You're far less prejudiced towards new cars than I am.
For those years, I would probably go with that 2005 to 2009, just a Ford Mustang, because when they came out, everybody wanted one. They were all in posters, and they're kind of iconic. And it would just, if it's not beat to shit, it's still going to be a decent car. That it's something I'd be happy to drive. I wouldn't go out to that and go, it's old or it's ugly and stuff like that. Like, oh, this is cool. It's still got, I'm okay with this. Of course, I just drag home junk. So who am I to say?
I found my happy late model spot with the XJs. I know you're saying 2005 to 2010, so I go a little bit further back. 97, my profile for 90, really 97. I have two 96s, but 97 to 01 XJs are just freaking awesome, just awesome. Like I love my XJs, so that's what I would recommend. But that's out of the age range that you're talking about. D. Strow is saying Car Wizard agrees on the 2005 plus generation Mustangs. Interesting.
Because there's a bazillion of them. There's parts. And if you can just make it stock, there's a bazillion parts if you want to make it, do this and go fast or turn corners or do whatever, And they're, one of the last two-door cars. So
Avery is saying, I do want an XJ because of you, but I'm worried about gas mileage for a daily. I daily an XJ. So my experience now, okay, 97, 8, and 9, not 2000, not 2001, but 97, 98, 99, two-wheel drive, okay? It's 20 miles per gallon. The thing will average 20 miles per gallon all day long. Now, I noticed because I had a limited version. I just sold recently, right? And it had a gas mileage, calculator on it, and consistently I kept it over 20. Now I drive with a very light foot. Some people they just slam the shit around, right? I happen to drive with a very light foot. So, but in mixed use, all weather, 20 miles per gallon as an average. Now I have the same exact truck in four-wheel drive I got here at the house, and that one gets 4 miles per gallon less. So that one averages 16. So two-wheel drive, 97, 98, 99. 2000, they changed it. They changed the ignition to the coil and plug, and it's just, there's just something different about it. It doesn't feel as smooth, and it doesn't get the same gas mileage. But yeah, that's what I would be looking for if I was you.
Yeah, they're all talking about what they would have.
Bob Withers is saying 03 to 2011 town cars are strong machines. They are, but they're loaded with fragile tech and fragile features. You know what I'm saying? They're difficult to in that respect. Suspension, engine, trans, yeah, they're good and solid, but man, this is just like I just see it just never ending. This doesn't work. This one does not
Yeah,
work.
the only Achilles heels of those cars is that fucking air diverter for the HVAC that's behind the dash, no way to get it. So taking the whole dash out, that makes your AC never work when it goes bad. It gets stuck on heat.
Yeah,
And it's the whole dash has to come out. And then it's, squeak and rattle central after you put it all back together.
Ram Man. Dr. Art, is polishing stock rods a waste of time or a good thing? Haven't seen anything on Uncle Tony's channel.
I've personally have never done it. I've never done it on a V8. I've done it on small engines like for the go-karts and things that I had when I was in that phase. But for a V8 to go through and, deburr the casting line and polish them up and reweigh them, and never done it. What do you say, sir?
Well, it's one of the things I plan on experimenting with. I've never done it, but it's one of the things I plan on experimenting with Mission and Problem. Which I'm getting back to that. We're going to get back to that project very soon. Lincoln's
yeah, wonderful drive, but yeah, it's the little things that'll kill you.
Yeah, there's an inverse relationship between reliability and gizmos. The more gizmos, the less reliable it's going to be. So, Bill McKay, thank you so much for the super chat. I used to daily drive an 85 Dodge pickup that I had to run premium. I also had a 2-hour commute to work and 2 hours back every day for 4 years. I love when people complain about how much gas how much the commute costs. Well, not everybody has the same threshold, man. It's like, you're fortunate enough that you could throw that money at the tank. There's some people that just can't,
Mm-hmm.
So basically, the Joker is saying, basically stick with a Crown Vic or Grand Marquis. Yes.
And if you can find a Crown Vic with manual heat controls and not the automatic climate thing, because a lot of the Grand Marquis have the automatic climate, which is what's going to kill you. If you can find a bone stock Crown Vic with, heat controls, you're dialed.
Firefly, he's talking about polishing rods. Removing rough, fracture-prone areas is a good thing. Not sure how much it helps reliability in terms of percentage. You don't do it for reliability. I guess you could do it for reliability to eliminate stress risers, but it's done to limit windage, because as the oil is getting slung off, the journal, it's all getting caught up in the connecting rods and all that. And it's dripping down from the pistons. So a smoother, a polished rod cuts through the windage easier than, and I think it might have been David Vizard who did a dyno test on polished versus non-polished rods, and there was a significant difference. Like, you actually saw like a 5 horsepower difference between the two. So let's see.
What Dickhead's looking for a website link. What website link are you looking for, sir?
What's that now?
The cat -83 said website link Dr. Art Question mark, please.
Oh, I have no idea.
What website you looking for, sir?
Firefly, everyone kept calling it stress relieving. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's Avery. Tony, what's a good price for an XJ? I know you like to buy cheap broken ones that somehow work. Yeah, give me one with a piston noise, right? Because it's so easy. It's so easy to pull ahead and drop the pan and swap out a broken piston. Good price range. Rust is a big problem in a lot of parts of this country. We happen to be in a sweet spot where there's no rust. I pick up XJs, so like zero rust anywhere on them. For good, functional, clean, in other words, like the paint is okay, interior is nice, something that, you know, that you don't have to squint at when you look at, right? You're probably going to pay between like $4,000 and $5,000 for a good one. I see them all the time, hammering towards like $1,500, $2,000, or super clean but needing a motor for that same price.
Yeah.
And when you say it needs a motor, that's a very easy engine to rebuild in the vehicle. You know, pull it out, right? The head comes off in an hour. The pan comes down in like a half hour or so, and everything is wide open. You can knock pistons and rods into that thing like it's nothing. So, you know, your only problem is going to be run into is if you got to put a crank in it. And I've yet to see one that had bad enough bottom end damage that you have to change the crank. Oh, sorry, he's asking for your website, Dr. Art.
Yeah. Oh, my website. Well, it's Dr. Art's Hot Rod Rehab, or you can go to Midnight Speed Labs. He was looking for engineering standards, breaking all the thing. Well, this is the book you need. Kent's Mechanical Engineering Handbook. Okay. It's this thick. Read it, learn it. It'll teach you everything on how to be an actual engineer, and all the tables, and all about metallurgy, and all about stress, and all about fluid volume. There.
Very nice.
Yes.
Stephen Andrews. Hi, gentlemen. Rear axle question. How can you tell if your axle's outer bearings are lubricated by grease or gear lube?
Geese or girth.
You have to stuff the whole bird in there, damn it. Which do you think is more desirable? If it's a C-clip axle, it's going to be lubricated by gear lube, and if it's a non-C-clip axle, then it's going to have grease. Which is more desirable? The grease bearings are, or that type of rear is generally stronger than a C-clip rear. C-clip is more common, but it has weak links to it. So it's not that one system of lubrication is better than the other. It's just that the one that's going to have a greased bearing is going to be a stronger axle or a stronger assembly than the one that takes a C-clip. Can I answer that okay?
Yeah.
Wheelie King is saying that's an excellent book, Dr. Art. I'm surprised to see you pull it out. I have a copy.
It is. I actually stole that from the Dayton, Ohio Air Force Museum. Well, not stolen. It was for sale. Long time ago. And I'm like, cool, this has got everything I would ever need to know.
YouTube Scientists actually made a live stream again. Yes, you made it.
We have a scientist here, so we're legitimate, I guess, right?
Henry, thank you for the super chat. You ever run into mini Mopar mod tops? No, but I love them, man. And the vast majority of late 60s, 70s cars come with vinyl tops. super popular option beginning around 69, 68, 69. They started pushing on vinyl top on every friggin' thing. So, I'm not going to say the vast majority, but I'm going to say at least a third. I'm going to say the corresponding era. I'm going to say about from let's say 1968 to like 1978. In that like that 10-year, there was a vinyl top period. And had all different types. The Landau vinyl top and this type of vinyl top. I'm going to say about a third of the cars total had vinyl tops. It was really popular.
I had one of them gold dusters with the third.
Yeah, the half vinyl tops.
Yeah.
Weird. They it was a gimmick. Like you needed something. You always needed something to keep people interested. You know, oh, that's the latest type. It's got this. I need that. So yeah, but the mod tops, no. My friend Michio, his mom had a 70 Fury that had one of the Paisley mod top. We was teenagers, you know, we would just take the car out and flip the air cleaner over and beat it out and then sneak it back. But no, they weren't. I don't recall seeing many around.
What was big in some of we'll say in some of the neighborhoods was the mock convertible top they put on 4-door Cadillacs and Buicks.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, that's a very taste specific option to put on your car there, sir. Usually came with Dayton's and Vogues too, but
some of them were pretty convincing looking.
Yeah, some of them were like, oh, I've never seen a 4-door sedan DeVille with a convertible top, but sir, I believe you have one.
He was just screaming for a Sawzall. It's Avery again. Mechanical fuel pump opinions. Should old carb cars be converted to electric pump? All right.
No.
Generally, yeah. I mean, okay. Here's the reasons why you would add an electric pump, right? And you decide if this suits your situation. If car sits more than, let's say, 24, 48 hours like that, all of the gasoline will evaporate out of the carburetor. So when you go to restart it, you got to crank it, and it's got to pump the gas all the way up and fill the carburetor. And a lot of people don't want to deal with that. It's a pain in the ass. For me, I just automatically grab a squirt bottle. If something's been sitting for a couple of days, I grab the squirt bottle, I pop the air cleaner off, I give it a squirt, and fire it right up. But that's me, right? And it's just, if I was a regular person, or if I had half a cent, half a brain in my head, I would add a small electric pump in line to prime the system after it's been set. And the reason for that is because the gasoline that they formulate today doesn't have any of the anti-evaporative properties that the old gasoline did. So that's why that happens. And then the other reason why you want to do it, and it's not every engine now, okay, but some of them, well, actually most of them, is you end up with a vapor lock problem. And the vapor lock problem is actually in the fuel pump itself, because the mechanical fuel pump is attached to the engine itself. So while your coolant temp may only be 180 degrees, 190 degrees, the temperature of the surrounding engine could be 20, 30, 40 degrees higher than that. And at like 160 degrees, today's gasoline starts to evaporate, starts to boil, and you end up with vapor lock in the pump. So now if you keep the pump wet with gas from a small electric pump, pushing it up there like a clacker style deal, then that eliminates almost all of the vapor lock issues that would be caused through the fuel pump. Did I answer that adequately?
Yeah, I think you even maybe went a little over center.
Yeah. Dr. Art, look what time it is.
Oh my gosh.
How did we do that so fast?
I know, that was fast. Yeah, my Monday went fast too. So it's just 26 is going to be shebang.
26 is rocking, man. It's like, I can't believe it. It's like 2 weeks into it already.
We're 2 weeks in and we're just piling up money. It's incredible.
Well, silver. Dr. Art.
Yes.
Dr. Art Hot Rod Rehab. He needs subs because his channel got nuked not too long ago. 10,000 subs wiped out. So he started over from scratch, picked himself up by the bootstraps, brushed himself off, and just started firing stuff at the tube again. So go over there and sub to Dr. R's Hot Rod Rehab and watch all of his videos and buy his merch and accept and spread his rhetoric and propaganda to all who will listen.
And then when you watch the videos, share them with people. Share them. Everyone should share every video that they watch about.
Share all the time, everywhere, to
Yes.
everybody.
Everyone, it's you know what? Just this month only, it's free to share.
Oh,
and it's free to subscribe to all month long. We're blowing it out.
Yeah, so Mexican Spec put up the link there. Yes. And don't you have a 20% off? 20% off subs this week.
20% off sharing, yes.
Yes. And then Fubar, the amazing Fubar put up a link to my, that's not actually Fubar's picture. That's a shark. Just for you guys that are, curious, that's not actually Fubar. Put up a link to merch. So we've got our shirts and we've got our hats. Which shirt am I wearing today?
Internal combustion.
Same one, right? That's because I have thousands of these things. I way over ordered them. I've got thousands of them. So now when I get out of the shower and I don't even look for laundry anymore. I just grab a new shirt off the merch.
Dry off with one, put on another one.
Crazy. Yeah. So yes, we have to get rid of these freaking shirts. Thank you for putting up that link, Fubar. So our awesome mods, Fubar, Zero, Mexican Spec, guys, thank you so much. Everybody who contributed with Super Chat, it's never expected, but always appreciated. And everybody who contributed with just your presence and your conversation, thank you equally. We are eternally grateful you guys clicking the button and giving us a job. I am hardcore unemployable. You have no idea. So it's like, yes, thank you so much.
And at any second now, I could be completely unemployed. So
any second. So yes.
I gotta keep watching my phone. All the hours I'm awake, I'm like, that call's coming, but we'll see what happens.
All right. So that's it, guys. I am going to hit the end stream button, and I'll see you on Sunday night, and he'll see you on Monday night. He does a live every Monday night at 7:00. And Mexican Spec does a live too. So I'm going to end this, but the conversation.
He does his on Friday, yeah.
Okay. So that's it, guys. I am out of here. Yeah, you agree, Dr. Art?
Yeah, out.
Out.
Out.